In 9.1, we're going to be talking about formulas of triangles and quadrilaterals. So the first formula that we need to be aware of is the parallelogram, that hopefully you already know. But also the parallelogram formula, A equals base times height, is used for what else? Rectangles. So it's not stated here, but we know that a parallelogram could also be a rectangle, okay? And also for what else? The square, it's base times height, but it's a special one, right? Where it's S times S, the side times the side. But it's the same idea, okay? And then the triangle formula, which is 1/2 base times height, or you can also rewrite it and say it's just base times height divided by 2. Then the formula for the trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height, or also you can rewrite it as B1 plus B2 times the height, and then half of that, okay, is the same idea. So with those three formulas, let's go ahead and do a fourth grade problem, which is number 1. I'm pretty sure Jonathan and Vianney would be able to do something like this, my 4th and 5th grade, kids, okay?
Your son's so
So,
smart.
really? I think he is, yes. So anyways, number 1, it's a parallelogram. What's the formula for the area of a parallelogram? Area equals base times height. So, what's the base, what's the height? Base is perpendicular to the height. The height is in dotted line, so base is, I know I have a form, 10. So this is a 4th and 5th grade problem, okay? So it's 10 inches times 6 inches. And therefore, you multiply those two numbers, 10 times 6 is 60. And then inches times inches in Algebra 1, the same unit is what? Inches squared. So this is the answer right here, okay? So now with the same idea, go ahead and try number 3. It's just basic plug-in numbers, and that's it. So try number 3, please. The answer is 91, and it's just base times height. Base 1 plus base 2, which is 26. Half of that is 13. And notice that here, if you do it by hand, if you simplify, that is 13 times 7, and that is also 91. You can just put everything into the calculator, okay?
I was doing 2. I was like, oh my god, I got it wrong.
Any questions about number 3? So far, so good? Now let's get into a little higher level problems, which is number 2. Number 2, they want you to get the base, and they're giving you the area. They're also giving you the height. So in number 2, it's always a good idea to first write the formula. It's a rectangle, so it's base times height. So the area given is 136 square millimeters. And the base, we don't know the base, so it's B times the height, which is 8 millimeters. So since I want to leave the B by itself, in Algebra 1, you learn to do what? Divide, because it's multiplied by 8, you divide by 8. Good job, Anna. So it's 8. And then when you divide by 8 millimeters, see, the square millimeters here is the same thing as millimeters times millimeters. What happens is that you end up canceling one set of millimeters, and you end up with just 1 millimeters. So what is 136 divided by 8? 17. So is B equals 17 millimeters. Okay, questions about number 2? No? So now you try number 4. Same concept. You write the formula down. Once you write the formula down, A equals base times height divided by 2. Substitute the information they're giving you. And then just make it a proportion. Put it over 1, and then just cross multiply. Because that way you know what to do with the 2. See, the 2 dividing is the same thing as, the opposite of that is multiplying by 2. But when you set it up as a proportion, it's easier to see it like that. So 182, not half of it, but it's times 2 is 384. And then you divide by 24. And what is 384 divided by 24? Anybody has that? 16?
I'm so happy.
During this class, right? In number 5, they want us to find the perimeter of the rectangle, and they're giving us the area. Also, they're giving us the height, and this is a rectangle. So it's a rectangle. I always like to draw a picture to understand the problem better. So area is 154 square inches. The height is 11. I don't know what the base is. The formula for the perimeter, this is something that you're supposed to have learned in middle school. And in elementary, this is twice the width plus twice the length. I have, or twice the base plus twice the height. Okay, either way is fine. So I need to find the base. Again, I need to go back to what I did in number 2 and number 4. First, I need to find the missing side with the area formula. It's a rectangle, base times height. The area given is 154. The base, we don't know what the base is, but we know that the height is 11. And I'm gonna have to treat this as a college class. In the college class, they don't really ask you. They just go through and they teach and give the lecture, and they're just at speed mode. And you got it great. If you didn't, too bad. Oh my goodness, I don't want to do that. If you have questions, tell me please. But I'm gonna have to go through this, real quickly. So what's 154 divided by 11? That's 14. So the base is 14. So since the base is 14, and you want to find the perimeter is the length around a figure. So you can use a formula. Perimeter twice 14 is 28, and then twice the height is 22, and together is 50, and the unit of measure is just inches. Okay, that's number 5. Question number 6. In problem number 6, it's base 2 is what we need to look for. And they're giving us the area. So again, I need to work out the problem backwards, like finding the base 2. And it's a trapezoid. So the formula for the area of the trapezoid is, I'm going to put it as base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. I'm going to use it like that. Okay. So I substitute the information. Area, it's 5. Base 1, it's 1. Base 2, we don't have base 2. The height is 2, and then over 2. So to find the base of 2, what do I do first?
Multiply
By 2. We can make it a proportion, that 5 over 1, make it a proportion. So multiply by 2, and that would be 10. 10 equals, and then you have 1 plus b sub 2 times 2. What's the next step after that?
So, no.
Divide both sides by 2, and that would be 5 equals 1 plus b sub 2. And I just want to point out something here. Do you notice that you have a 2 dividing and a 2 multiplying? You could just cancel that up, and that would give you what I have in that step. Okay, so for future reference, something that you can do. Now, to leave the b sub 2, what do I do? Subtract. So 5 minus 1. So b sub 2 is 4, and don't forget the unit of measure, which is feet. Okay? Now we move on to, and on the right side, we're going to be talking about rhombus and kites. Rhombuses or rhombi, that's another way of saying rhombus in plural. And the formula, do you notice that the formula is the same one? It's the same one, okay? So you can also say that the formula is just A equals D1 times D2 divided by 2. So if I use that formula in number 7, I have the area. They're giving me both dimensions. AC is D1, BD is D2. So I just need to put it into the formula. A equals D sub 1, which is 14, times D sub 2, which is 10. And then you get half of that divided by 2. So 14 times 10 is 140, and then half of 140, it's 70. So this is 70, it's area, so it's a square centimeters. Okay. Now problem number 8. In number 8, they want us to find the diagonal 1. So just kind of like number 2, number 4, it's diagonal 1, and what is given here is diagonal 2. Okay, because
What's
diagonal 1
Oh, the one going
is
up.
what we're looking for. So I write my formula down. A equals D1 times D2 divided by 2. The area is 414. I don't know diagonal 1, but I know that diagonal 2 is 23. So here you can do two things. You can divide 23 by 2, or you can just set it up as a proportion. Okay, so I'll just set it up as a proportion. So twice 414 is 828. And then, what else do we do? Divide both sides by 23. And then just put that into the calculator. So D sub 1 is what? 36? Thank you.
Miss, can't you just divide by 2 and multiply by 2? Or not divide by 2, divide by 23 and then multiply by 2.
Are you talking about this here?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, that you can simplify this, which is 16.5, and then divide both sides by 16.5, and that's the same thing. Okay? Yes, you can also do that. And now, number 9, we're looking for D sub 2, which is the same idea as number 8. And so is number 10, same idea as number 8. Now let's go over number 11, something with algebra. Well, here's the same concept, but now we have variables, okay? It's a kite. So we put the formula for the area of the kite. The area given is 16x. We're looking for diagonal 1. We have diagonal 2, which is 8. Now, can we do what you were saying, Marlon? This is an even number, so it's a lot better.
Yeah.
We can do that, right? So it's 8 divided by 2 is just 4. And we could approach this, with the cross multiplication. Okay, you guys, so the homework is on that paper, the second paper. And we're going to do problems numbers 1 through 10. So work on numbers 1 through 10, please. Homework 1 through 10 only, yes. And tomorrow we'll do the second part, okay? So 1 through 10. Numbers 1 through 10. Have a wonderful day, guys. Very nice. Arlet, ¿qué trajimos de comer, mamita? ¿Qué trajimos de comer? ¿Qué trajimos de comer? Ah, okay. Right.